네. 사실 이번에 일렉션이 있었던 건 처음이잖아요.
네.
근데 그럼에도 불구하고 미국이 지명하면 거의 된다고 생각했기 때문에 걱정을 안 했는데 긴장된 순간이 있으셨어요, 중간에?
Of course, of course. We took nothing for granted. You know, this time was completely different.
네.
There were two other candidates, one the Nigerian Minister of Finance,
네.
the other the Colombian Minister of Finance, who were really excellent candidates.
네, 네.
I talked to both of them. Immediately after the election, I talked to both of them. And we had very good conversations. We agreed to work together very closely.
Yes.
But it's the first time that there was an actual competition.
Yes.
Previously, there was only one candidate, the American candidate. So I had to really work hard to convince the members of the World Bank and present myself and my credentials. So I, over 15 days, we took 22 flights. We visited with ministers of finance, ministers of development, sometimes prime ministers, sometimes heads of state. We visited more than 50 people. 굉장히 재미있는 것은
네.
뭐 에티오피아나 중국이나 멕시코, 브라질 갔을 때는 우리 한국에 대해서 얘기 많이 했어요.
네, 네.
One of the things that that I said to everybody is, you know, I was born in 1959 in Korea.
Yes.
And Korea at that time was a very poor country. It was poorer than Ghana,
네.
country in Africa.
네.
My father was a refugee. He came from North Korea to South Korea by himself when he was 17. He never saw any of his family members again. My mother, during the war, literally walked from Seoul to Busan, where she started school again.
Many people did.
Yeah, yes, many people did. So, what I told the representatives of these different countries is that the story of Korea has been living in my heart ever since I was a child. My parents were refugees.
Yes.
They came to the United States. I had a chance to have a great education. But even more importantly, while we were in the United States, Korea was growing. It's a story that I told over and over again because it's so important to me. You know, when I was in graduate school, I did my PhD research on Korean economic growth.
Yes.
Right? And what I learned was that in the 1960s and 1970s, many experts were saying that it would be impossible for Korea to grow economically. They were certain about this. And they would say things like, well, modernization depends on a lot of influence from the West. Korea is too Confucian of a society. They will never grow. Right? So what I said to every single Minister of Finance I met was that this taught me something very important. Never say that it's impossible for a country to grow. This is what they said about Korea, and look at Korea now. And I have to tell you, especially among the African ministers of finance and representatives of the African Union, it was a very inspiring story for them, and that's why they're studying Korea. Because for them, they think that Korea started off very poor, low literacy rate, and look at where they are now, one of the most advanced economies in the world. I have, based on my experience in Korea, I have a truly unshakable optimism. And you have to bring that with you. You have to, if you're going to be leading an organization that's focused on development and poverty alleviation, you have to bring an unshakable optimism to your job. There's no room, no place for cynicism if you're going to be working at a place like the World Bank.